Today we're going to learn how to create a workflow process that's going to update variables. First, we're going to start with creating a workflow definition. Let's call the workflow definition update variables. As soon as you click the create button, it's going to open the workflow designer. Once the workflow designer opens, you're going to click on the define variables toolbar button. And you're going to enter a name for the variable. Let's say we're going to define a variable called data with string data type, and we're going to add it. And let's define another variable called sum. That's going to be numeric. We're going to add that. And we're going to add another variable called DOB, which is date. We're going to add that also. And you're going to click the save button to save these changes. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to update these variables with values, and we're going to go to our toolbox here and search for update. And you will see there's one that comes up and says update given variables. We're going to drag that step and connect the dots to connect the two steps. Since we are updating multiple variables here, you're going to click on this variable step, and they're going to click on this button here to provide what variables you want to update. So if you click on this little icon, it will also show you what variables are available. But here we're going to type in variable dot. This will also give you a lookup list of all the defined variables. And you can just select the one you want. And I'm going to set this variable value to be ABC. And I'm going to add two more rows here because we want to update all three variables. Next, we'll do variable dot sum, and we'll set this value to be numeric value. Next, we're going to update the date variable, date of birth. So variable dot DOB, and here we're going to set that to a date. Let's say 4/5/2019, and we're going to hit the save button. And we're going to hit the save button here on this step to save the step values. And we're going to click the save button on the definition here to save the whole definition. Now that we have created the workflow definition, we're going to exit the designer and go and execute that workflow definition. So let's close the window here. We're going to go to workflow instances, and we're going to create a new workflow instance based on this particular definition. We're going to click on generate a name for it, and we're going to say create and execute. At this point, the workflow instance got created, and if you refresh the screen, you should see that it has finished executing. You can click on this render button to render it, and just click on the update variable step and click on the variables, and you should see the values that are set for each of the variables. So the variable data has the value ABC, date of birth has 4/5/2019, and the sum has 5877 as the value. So this is a simple example on how to update variables.